Everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I'm always on the hunt for great cards. And boy, are we going to get some great ones today. That's right, it's Anything Can Happen Day. It's Thursday. We do pretty much all kinds of crazy stuff on Thursdays, and today is certainly no exception to that. We're going to be opening up some Pro Set Superstar music cards from the early 90s. These came out, I believe, in 1991. And I'm going to do something that I don't know if any other YouTubers have done before or not, but I'm going to open up some packs from a box of the UK version of this product. They did a US and a UK version, and I've got some US packs here. I'll open up some of those too as a point of comparison. The reason I'm excited about the UK version of this, and I've had this box for a while, and I've thought so often, I want to get into that and open that. The reason I'm excited about it, because the UK version has a lot of artists that are not represented in the US version, and vice versa, but the US version has a lot of, I don't know, they just, a lot of hair bands and metal bands somehow found their way into the US version, and while that's fun, that's not really, those aren't cards that I'm all that excited about other than to mock, which there will be a lot of mocking on this episode, so if that's your jam, you're in the right place today. Usually, as you know, we do sports cards, but today, it's Anything Can Happen Day, so I can do whatever I want. I'm taking that as just an open invitation for me to pull out whatever I feel like opening on Thursday. So you guys should be really trepidatious or excited about that. I'm not sure which, but anyway, we're going to get into this. And this is all pop music stars from the 80s and the very early 90s that you're going to see represented on these cards. And some of them you will recognize and others you will not. We're going to open a bunch of UK packs and some US packs as well, and we'll see what you get. I'm excited about that you get Mr. Kershaw out here to help me finally get into this box after many, many years of having this in the card closet. I don't think I bought this in 91 because it was really hard to get the UK version then. I think I bought this in the late 90s. May have been one of the first things that I bought on eBay, actually. I've been on eBay since the 90s, and I feel like this was one of the first things I got on there because it was something I really always wanted because it has a lot of bands that you just couldn't get because they didn't make them on the US cards, including some that just don't make any sense. Like David Bowie has a card in the UK set and not the US set. That makes no sense. I know he's British, but he was a global superstar by the 90s. That makes zero sense. U2 has cards in the UK set but not the US set. They were easily the biggest band in the world by that point, and don't put them in the US set. I don't know why that is. The Norwegian band Aha, who's a band that I've always really liked, has cards in this set, so I'm looking forward to that. And there were some American bands that got cards in the UK set too that did not get them in the American set. REM has cards in the UK version but not the US version, and they're from Georgia. They're from Athens, Georgia, so that is very confusing. And the biggest omission, I don't think Prince has cards in the US version. He's from Minnesota. He doesn't have any cards in the US version. Of course, was hugely popular in this country. I think he only has cards, he has 2 or 3 cards in the UK version, none in the US. So hoping to pull those. Some of these cards, as much as I will mock these cards mercilessly today, some of these cards are actually, if you get them in a PSA 10, they're really in pretty high demand because people, you know, a lot of these people don't have trading cards otherwise. A lot of these artists don't have any other trading cards. So these are like the only way you can get a trading card as some of these musicians is through these packs. And if you get them graded really high, they do go for some money. See, MC Hammer and Madonna share the box top there. And these were 35 pence or 40 pence in Ireland. Yes, that's what you would have paid for these back in 1991. You got Kylie Minogue and George Michael on the front there. Kylie Minogue, of course, a huge star in the UK back then, and her cards are actually in demand too. There are some very, very dedicated Kylie Minogue fans. Her charms are lost on me, but some people seem to like her a lot. So anyway, we're going to get into this box. Finally, after so many years of me wanting to get into this, I'm finally going to do it, and why not set it up the proper way, like you would see it on the counter of your shop in the UK when you went in to buy your tea or your loose leaf tobacco or whatever people buy over there. I don't know. But anyway, you can see a difference immediately. These are the UK packs, first ever series and only series. They never did a second series. You get 10 music cards in here. In the US pack, you also get 10, but they're 10 hot photo cards. I'm going to have to get my oven mitts when I open those. Start out with some of these UK packs because I've waited years and years, decades even, to open these packs. There are no inserts that you can get out of here. There's nothing like that in these packs. There are no autograph cards or, anything like that. But you get 10 cards per pack, and there's going to be some delightful things in here. I can tell you that. Cher starts things off right there. It looks like she's get these up here so you can really check these out in great detail. There's Cher. I think she's just kind of hanging out. It looks like she's just leaning against the wall at a train station waiting for you. There you are, she says, as you walk up. Finally, do you have your ticket? We're going to be late. Danny Minogue, who is some relative of Kylie Minogue. She has a lot of cards in this set, and I really don't know much about Danny. Kylie's super popular. There's Kylie right there. She's wearing some sort of, looks like she's got an overcoat on. She's in spy gear, maybe. Kylie Minogue, the spy. I really don't know her music that well, but I know she's hugely popular. Any cards that I pull that I don't wolf lair that you want, let me know, because I know some of you are really into music as much as I am. So if I pull something that's really exciting to you, let me know about it. I know many of you are going to want this card, these beautiful gentlemen of Extreme, who pretty much all need a haircut. Well, the guy on the left doesn't, but the rest of these guys, man, that is, I don't remember Extreme at all. The path of true rock and roll success never runs smoothly, but that's what Extreme had to deal with. The guitarist's name is Nuno. That's his name. That's his first name, apparently. That's Extreme for you right there. And there's Geraldo. Geraldo did have a huge hit, and I cannot remember what it was. What was his huge hit? It was a terrible song. And he looks like one of the guys from Milli Vanilli right there, but he's not. We Got the Funk was not their song. They had a huge hit, and I cannot remember what it was. I'm sure one of you will tell me in the comments. There's Simply Red, Mick Hucknall with the red hair. I don't think he dyed his hair either. I think that was actually his natural hair color, though he used a lot of hairspray and gel to get it to look like it was always just sort of drifting in the wind somehow. Mick Hucknall always did that. Simply Red. UB40, very good reggae band, ska band, however you want to classify them, UB40. Kathy Dennis, who I can guarantee was not in the U.S. version of this product there. Kathy Dennis, who had a very popular album that somebody listened to, but it wasn't me. There's Cher. We got a double Cher pack. I hope you're sitting down because that is huge. Cher looks like she's sucking in her gut right there, like she really wants to appear quite thin for that photograph. Her dress appears to have some loose threads, though. She's going to need a seamstress for that. And there is the first New Kids on the Block card. They have I think they have 6 cards in the UK set, which also doesn't make sense because they were a US band. New Kids on the Block, very popular back then. Not quite sure why they had so many cards in this set. It tells you all of the, oh wow, this is really good information that you guys are going to want to write down. I'll give you a chance to do that. All of the names of the people in the band, as well as their birthdays and their horoscopes, and also the fan club address. So there's a lot of information here. You guys can pause that and write all of that down so that you can write New Kids on the Block. Do another pack of UK just because I've waited so long to get into this product, and then we'll open a US pack and you can compare and contrast what you see out of there. Hoping that I can pull something out of one of these packs that I really want to get. There's Madonna. She has many cards in both sets. She was a huge popular musician at the time. She's wearing a monocle there. I think that's her Madonical look. I just thought of that. That's pretty good though, right? I don't know. If she did characters like David Bowie used to, then she could, she could be Madonical there. She does look like kind of a supervillain, like easily a James Bond villain. I think she did a James Bond theme song. Double Madonna pack. We got a double Cher pack last time, and this time we get double Madonna. Madonna's cards are actually in somewhat demand. People apparently still like her. Puzzled by that, but apparently some people do, so those cards some people like. EMF, who sort of was like a rap dance band. I don't remember EMF well. I think their big song was Unbelievable. I think that was their big song. I thought they were just, not really worth my attention. There is a Prince card. I'm actually going to wolf lair that one. That is awesome. Very happy to pull one of the Prince cards. That is pretty cool. He is one of the cards that if you do get it graded and get a PSA 10 on it, that is a very saleable card. I also have a friend of mine who's a huge Prince fan and does not have that card. I have no idea what is happening on this card or who this dude is. Philip Schofield? Has anyone heard of this guy? Apparently he has a thing for giant cephalopods. I don't know what is even going on there. We got Vanilla Ice behind him, so you guys I know are going to be clamoring for that card because he is super popular. He started off as a TV and radio presenter in New Zealand and then moved to Britain and then apparently did well on a TV show or something. I don't really know. I've never heard of that guy. He looks sort of like Ralph Macchio a little bit, but I'm sure it's not him. Vanilla Ice, and that is a classic pose from the Vanilla Ice Man. There he is. I know everybody's going to want that card. Michael Jackson, who obviously has cards, and what is he wearing? Some sort of flame retardant outfit there? I don't know what that even is. That's very weird. Putting that one up for grabs. Public Enemy, I'm keeping that one. That is awesome. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Put that over there. And another Prince card. We got two. I think there are 3 Prince cards in the set, and we got 2 of the 3 already. That is fantastic. I love that. Now, I'm already losing track. I know we got 2 Madonna cards in this pack. I think the Prince card was in the previous pack. So we got 2 Prince cards in 2 packs. That's pretty great. And that is Sonia, apparently. Some random lady they found on the street to sing some songs and put on these cards. Sonia. I don't know. Let's open a U.S. pack, see what we get out of there, because maybe there will be better. That's very interesting. These packs are foil. The UK packs are foil. The US packs are more like the score packs. They're sort of that garbage bag material, and they have a sort of propaganda card, which totally befits anything that would be a U.S. product. Of course, they want to try to sell you something or get you to join some contest. So there's the propaganda card from them. That goes in the trash. We start off with a Legends card, and the U.S. version had many Legends cards of classic bands from rock history, I guess mostly from the 60s. The Who being the one they put on here. I'm going to say something that people are going to find offensive, but I have no use for The Who. I never thought they were a good band. I still don't. Pete Townshend's a really good guitarist, no question about that, and some of his solo albums are actually pretty good. Like, I can listen to Townsend, but I have no interest in The Who. I've never liked them. I don't get why people do. It just makes no sense to me. Adamski, what? That makes no sense. Why is this guy on U.S. cards? This guy, I think, was popular in the U.K. I don't think he had did he have any hits in the U.S.? I remember his name, but I don't remember his music at all. Oh, it says he's a space alien. I'm going to bring this up to the camera because something weird has gone on here. A space alien. Adamski landed on Earth. He's nicknamed the Acid Skinhead. Wow, okay. I've had all I can of Adamski, and I've never even heard his music before, and that's all I ever want to have to do with that guy. First of all, I'm going to call foul because you're not allowed to give yourself your own nickname, and I guarantee he came up with that nickname for himself. Second of all, what is that headgear? Is that some sort of like it sort of looks like a fez taupe combination there? I don't even know what's going on with that. Maybe he brought the headgear with him when he came to Earth. I don't know. Hall & Oates, all right, that's awesome. From Philadelphia, Hall & Oates. They had so many hits in the 80s and 90s. Those guys were extremely, extremely popular and really nice guys from what I understand about them. The most offensive card in either set, we would get it. It's Dred Zeppelin with, I want to make sure that you get a really, really good view of everything that this card has to offer. So there you go. Dred Zeppelin, sort of like a comedic punk band, I guess I would describe them. Tina Turner, the recently departed Tina Turner there, that card, may be popular now. A lot of people get very excited about collecting artists after they pass away, so that one may be popular. Tina Turner, the great musician. Tone Loc, who has an inordinate number of cards in both of these sets. He's well represented by several cards in both the US and the UK set. It will not surprise you that Madonna has the most cards across both sets, followed very closely by MC Hammer, though, which is probably why they're both on the cover of the box there. Tone Loc, and we got Fate's Warning. These gentlemen need haircuts too, I'm just going to say. I think Fate's Warning was their big hit Eye to Eye? I think that was their big hit. I can't remember them that well. Lionel Richie dancing on the ceiling in his pinstripe suit. Can't beat that. I have nothing negative to say about Lionel. He just seems like a really nice guy. Loves what he does. Who can say anything negative about Lionel Richie? Really? Linear, I will say lots of negative things about. Linear really brought nothing to the table. I mean, what is really even going on here? These guys, he's got drumsticks, but no drums. He's got the drum machine there that you don't actually need to hit with drumsticks because you can just program it. Useless. The Party. Never heard of these guys. The Party? Have any of you heard of these guys? I've heard of Party of Five, and there are 5 of them, but I don't see Nev Campbell anywhere in the mix. It's confusing. And there is... That's the second propaganda card. We get 2 propaganda cards out of the US pack. That just does not surprise me even a little bit. Let's open another UK pack, which are propaganda card free from what we've seen so far anyway. See how we do here. We're going to start off with Jason Donovan. Okay, I thought the Dred Zeppelin card was bad, but this one may be worse. What is even happening with this guy? I've never heard of this guy, and I don't know why he is dressed like a Roman dude with a Mexican blanket. This is confusing. I mean, we got to read about this dude because he's got something wrong with him. He's from Australia, so that explains a lot. Shout out to Leaf Fan Down Under. And he now lives in a swank apartment in London and says he likes to do the housework himself. He thinks his mouth is the sexiest part of his body. These cards are priceless. These are treasures, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who doesn't think that, I don't know how you're human. We got the Doors here, who are utterly useless to me. I hate the Doors. I always have. In fact, I'm going to say something else really offensive, or that some people are going to find really offensive. Some people might nod and agree with me silently, because this is something that nobody ever wants to say out loud. But I think that the most overrated decade of music is the 1960s. I really do. I think so many bands that were popular in the 1960s and that a lot of older people like, people who are even older than myself, which is hard, there aren't that many of them, they venerate the 60s music like it is awesome. I don't think that that music has really stood up very well at all. You go back and listen to a lot of 60s music and it's sort of like, I guess I can see why people liked it then, but it has nothing to do with what, I just don't like anything about it. Here's our third Madonna card, and this is the one where she's wearing a bra and some sort of looks like maybe a police hat or something. I don't really know what's going on there. Is she trying to be a biker chick? I'm not really sure what that look is for Madonna, but there you go. That's our third Madonna card, and I know people are going to be excited about that. There's Queen, and this is another band that you could only get in the UK packs. You could not get Queen in the American packs, which I think is a huge oversight. This card is unfortunately in terrible condition. The edges look like somebody has been chewing on them, but there is a Queen card, and that looks like Freddie Mercury down there feeling emotion, as he often did. Paula Abdul, and this card weirdly has a lot of weird stuff on it. I don't know what happened there. It looks like none of these cards are sticking to one another, so I'm not sure why it looks that way. But Paula Abdul, of course, former LA Lakers cheerleader turned musician, and she had a ton of hits, including really just touching and beautiful duet with the animated MC Scat Cat. I know none of us can forget that. Tina Turner, this is our second Tina Turner card, and it's different from the first one. Kim, what is this? Kim Appleby, who apparently has a restaurant chain here in the U.S., but in the U.K., she was a well-known musician along with these two dudes who apparently were part of her band. I have no idea. The singing and dancing duo of sisters Mel and Kim Appleby were the stars of the Stock, Aitken, and Waterman Stable. I know what those words mean, but they don't mean anything to me altogether like that. Sadly, Mel died in 1990, and so now Kim is a solo artist. Well, that's very, very sad. I'm sorry to hear about that. I still have no idea who you are. Whitney Houston, I certainly know who that is. And I'm not sure Whitney has cards in the American version either, which is baffling. Whitney Houston, of course, very popular. She looks like she's given somebody some snark there. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's Whitney Houston for you. A lot of people like her. Double Whitney Houston pack. I think every UK pack we've opened so far has had double of some very, very popular artist. So we get 2 Whitney Houston packs there. I don't know. She almost doesn't look like the same person in those pictures. Am I wrong about that? Very different pictures of Whitney Houston. We finish up with U2. That one will be going into the Wolf Lair, though. It's kind of a blurry picture of 4 lads from Ireland. Nice card there. I've always liked U2, so I'm going to keep that one. Let's do another UK pack. I'm enjoying those more than the US packs by far. I told you the US packs had a lot of weird, like, metal bands and hair bands and stuff. Guys who just didn't really have huge hits. De La Soul, that is awesome. I'd forgotten they were in this. Pretty sure they're not in the US set. That is fantastic. landmark albums from De La Soul, some great songs, 3 Feet High and Rising, and oh man, I Know is probably my favorite song by De La Soul. Love that song. Of course, I think they stopped playing it because everybody liked that song so much. Wolf layering that one. Kathy Dennis, there's our second one of grimacing Kathy Dennis in a very strange outfit that looks like she was an extra in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. We got New Kids on the Block, only our second card of New Kids on the Block. They have like 15 cards in this set, inexplicably, but there you go. New Kids on the Block. Bryan Adams, the great Canadian musician who had many, many hits during this period. He was reckless and he cut like a knife. Bryan Adams, CNC Music Factory. They have several cards in this set, and I guess they were pretty popular. I never really got into them. Their music sounded really derivative to me, but I know a lot of people liked them. Simple Minds, that's one of the ones I wanted to get, although I think there's a different picture on the U.S. card. I don't think they just have this picture of the lead singer, Jim Kerr. I think that they have the full band, as they should. I mean, Jim Kerr's ego is big enough, and he's a really talented guy, but he doesn't need that. He's not Simple Minds. He's just the lead singer. Simple Minds is full of many talented musicians. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, so I'm happy to get that card. That is an awesome card, Vanilla Ice. That's better than the other Vanilla Ice card. I think we can all agree on that. That is spectacular. That's a really great card. Love that one. Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler with the trademark headband. You also see him with the wristband as well. Yeah, you got to wear that because you work up a sweat when you're singing, so you got to wear those. You get your money for nothing, your chicks for free on the Walk of Life. That's right, Dire Straits, awesome band. New Kids on the Block, and that is a memorable card. That's our third New Kids on the Block card. I know you guys who are playing the home game will want to keep track of that on the scoreboard. It's on the lower left. And there's Kylie Minogue in a really understated and nuanced outfit, which is what I've come to expect of Kylie Minogue right there. There she is. And my friend who likes Kylie Minogue will be happy if I give him that card. We're going to take a chance here and open another American pack and see how that goes. I think this is maybe... I could do this for hours, and I don't think anybody wants that, but I think this may have to be our last pack. I don't know. We got 2 propaganda cards in the back. We'll get rid of those. Jimmy Page starts things off there. Looks like he has borrowed Madonna's hat from that other card. He's rocking the same sort of biker chick look that she is. Jimmy Page, definitely a certified legend, no question about that. Ziggy Marley, nice to see some more reggae artists represented here. His dad, of course, the great Bob Marley. And Cool Mo D, he also looks like he's trying to be a biker chick or a biker guy. I'm not sure what's going on there. I love those sunglasses, though. I would totally wear those, and my wife would hide them. We got Hurricane Alice. I've literally never heard of these guys. Has anybody heard of this band? Hurricane Alice. I've never heard of them. Let's see what they're about. I don't know anything about them. We're the ultimate party band, according to Hurricane Alice guitarist Dan Gill, who studied under Joe Satriani. That's right, named after a destructive hurricane that struck Texas. Those are the dudes in Hurricane Alice, our third Tina Turner card. I think that's a duplicate. Finally, we get an MC Hammer card. He has so many cards in these 2 sets. We hadn't got one yet. Hammer, Don't Hurt Him, Please. Shy. That's the name of this band. I've never heard of these guys either. Shy. This guy's trying to be Stevie Ray Vaughan back here, but failing miserably. That's Shy. Oh, he's got a Stevie Ray Vaughan hat, too. That's not going to work out. Our second Cher card, Sucking in Her Gut. We got Bonham. This was a band fronted by John Bonham's son, Jason. John Bonham, of course, the drummer for the great Led Zeppelin. And we finish off with Tom Petty. I'll be wooflering that one. I've always liked Tom Petty. Should we do more of these? I got to take a break. I got to get something for my throat here. I'll be right back. All right, I was parched there. I feel much better now. That was a great pack of the U.S. cards, I thought. I mean, it was a very typical pack of U.S. cards. I did get Tom Petty out of there, and I'm happy to get that card, but a lot of bands I just didn't even recognize, and that's kind of what I told you, a lot of hair bands and metal bands in there that you've never heard of before. So let's do another UK pack. I could literally just go through all of these for the next, 2 hours. You guys are with me for that, right? No, you're not. If you've gotten this far in the video and you're really tired of this nonsense, please feel free to, go check something else out. Very, very kind of you to last this long with my nonsense and antics today, and I would appreciate it if you let me know what you think in the comments section. Maybe hit the like button on your way out if you're ready to depart at this point. We're going to start off here with Heavy D, who was indeed heavy and laid down the heavy beats. That's right, Heavy D, who was not really that popular here in the U.S., I don't think, but he did have some hits. And he says about himself, "I've always been big and chubby, but I'm fine about my size." He weighs 22 stone, whatever that means. I'm going to have to go back through these, and I should have separated the U.S. from the U.K. cards. I don't know why I didn't do that. There's our second Hammer card. There he is, looking very stylish in a very musical sort of sport coat there. Or, I don't know, is that a sport coat? He's not wearing a shirt underneath it, so I'm not really sure what kind of drapey thing he's got going on there. Cliff Richard, whew, man, he was very popular in the UK. I'm not surprised to see his card in here, but he was not that popular here. He was extremely popular over there, and he was probably, about my age or even older by the time that card came out. What do we have here? More CNC Music Factory. This is our second card of CNC Music Factory. This one, shirt optional. Bono fronts U2 in this one, and he's looking rather sweaty here. And I don't know, I'm not as into that U2 card. I mean, I'll grab it. There's the card that I wanted most, probably. David Bowie, that is awesome. That is the card I probably wanted to pull most out of these UK packs, and very, very happy to get that with the tasteful pinstripe suit and the carnation. David Bowie, always a class act, and just nobody like him. There's Danny Minogue, our second card of Danny Minogue and somebody's hairy arm. Danny Minogue there in the sunglasses with the huge smile and a purse that it looks like she made herself. Danny Minogue. We got The Farm. I don't remember these guys. These two look like brothers. I'm going to call brothers on that. Drinking his Evian. That's The Farm. I don't remember those guys at all. Oh, you get the full name of all the band members. It looks like there are many more than appear in that picture, and none of them have the same last name, so I'm just wrong about the brother thing completely. But you can freeze that if you want to learn more about them. There's Wet, 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 and he does look pretty wet. He looks quite sweaty there, whoever that dude is. I don't remember Wet, Wet, Wet. It's 4 guys in that band, actually. You can learn more about them if you want to freeze frame that. Our second Bryan Adams card, and here he looks a lot more serious. He looks like he's really trying to exude something there. Bryan Adams. Always liked Bryan Adams. He was, I know he was a kind of a pop guy, but I really liked his first couple albums and really admired that the guy stuck around. He was one of those guys. It would have been really easy for him to have been, a one-hit wonder or what have you, but he was just a good songwriter and a really good musician overall. Here's the Pet Shop Boys. This is another band that is not in the U.S. set, though they definitely had some hits over here. West End Girls was probably their biggest hit. They never really made sense to me how they sort of existed together in the same band. Neil Tennant over here with his cowboy hats and leather stuff, and then, over here you got like the baseball cap, or is that a cricket cap? I don't even know. But anyway, Pet Shop Boys, they had a lot of staying power too. I was never really that into them, but they stuck around for a very long time and had a pretty ardent fan base. More New Kids on the Block, and that one just has the drummer in the picture. New Kids on the Block. I told you they got like 15 cards in this set. I'm not really sure why. There's Seal. Seal getting a kiss from the microphone rather than the rose in that one. Nice to see him. Bruce Springsteen. This is a baffling one. Bruce Springsteen has 2 cards in the UK set, Big Goose Egg in the US set. Is there an artist, a musical artist from the 70s and 80s who more emblemizes the US than Bruce Springsteen? I'm not saying like his music was great. I never really, felt one way or the other about Bruce Springsteen. He's fine. But he was like the consummate U.S. sort of artist. It's who you think of, really. Doesn't have a single card in the U.S. set. It's 2 in the UK set. So I know people will be excited about that too. A lot of Bruce fans out there. That is a weird... They look very similar in that. And that's EMF again, who... Yeah, the less said about that card, the better, I think. New Kids on the Block, as I said, many, many cards of this legendary teen band, The Stranglers. That is an awesome card. So happy to get that. Always liked The Stranglers, UK band. Had quite a few albums out, but never really caught on in the U.S. at all. I used to like them quite a lot, and I think I still have a couple of their albums on vinyl and maybe a couple on CD too. That's an awesome card. Happy to get that. Salt and Peppa, another band that I don't think I should have looked at the checklist again. I haven't looked at the checklist for a while, but I don't think that they have cards in the U.S. set, just in the UK set, though they are most certainly a U.S. rap band, hip-hop type band. Bruce Springsteen again, double Bruce Springsteen pack. That just seems to be the way with these UK packs. You get two big superstars in the same pack, two of their cards in the same pack. And this one, it is Bruce, and he's wearing the suit there, looking pretty darn classy. And we got Cliff Richard again. I think we got Cliff Richard in the last pack. He was really popular in the UK. I have no good things to say about Cliff Richard, but people in the UK seem to like him a lot. We'll do another US pack here, and then maybe one more UK pack before I end this madness. I really could just do this all day, and I don't know why anyone would watch it. If you're still watching, man, you are a saint if you're still watching this nonsense. I really appreciate it. Let's get rid of these propaganda cards out of there. And that band, man, they keep turning up like a bad penny. It's the Doors again. Goodbye to you. Led Zeppelin, now that is a band that I agree with as being legends, and like that card. Looks like they're in a school, doesn't it? It looks like they're just sitting in a classroom somewhere. I wonder if they came to like a high school somewhere just to play in the auditorium. We're having an assembly later, kids. We're going to go see Led Zeppelin in the auditorium. Can you imagine that? I mean, my jaw would have just dropped and my head would have just blown right off its neck. It would have been amazing, but alas, that never happened where I went to high school. Maybe it did for you. If Led Zeppelin ever came and played your high school, let me know in the comments. REO Speedwagon, I can't fight this feeling anymore of wanting to get this card in focus. There it is. REO Speedwagon. I never really cared for them very much. They were hugely, hugely popular in the U.S., so I can see why they would be in this set, but I never really cared for REO Speedwagon. Jeff Healey Band, sort of a blues-type band, as I recall. I don't really know that I listened to them a lot, but I remember hearing them back in the day and thinking that Jeff Healey did indeed have some major talent. Here's The Party again. The Party is back again. I don't see Lacey Chabert in that picture. It's confusing. All right. Now here is one I know is going to excite a lot of you guys. Yes, it is Nelson. It is After the Rain, and they're here to entertain you with their long, gorgeous blonde locks. Nelson. Those guys were like the creepiest band ever. I mean, they just, something wrong with that. I don't really know what's going on there, but I always felt uneasy whenever I saw their music videos or even heard their songs. I don't know about that. Something really weird there. Yep, After the Rain, there you go. Gunnar Nelson and Matthew Nelson. You name one kid Matt, and you name the other kid Gunnar? I don't know. So it's like I'm saying something weird there. Another Tom Petty card. That's nice. I think that's different from the one I already wolf-layered, so I'll put that in there as well. And there's Lionel, our second Lionel Richie card, and that one is different from the other one. And, I mean, look at the guy's enthusiasm. He is just pumped to be on stage singing and be alive. Lionel Richie, I mean, you can't say anything bad about the guy. Just a great human being. Nothing wrong with Lionel Richie. The Alarm, that is awesome. The Alarm was an alternative band back in the day that I used to really like. I thought they were really good. I think they're Welsh, if I'm remembering right, and they had some really revolutionary type of music. Their music wasn't, revolutionary in terms of like breaking new ground, but they were the kind of, they fancied themselves like the sound of the revolution or something. I don't know. Anyway, they were a good band, good rock and roll music. They're probably most famous in the U.S. for Eye of the Hurricane. I think that was their big song here. I always liked them. I thought their album before that, which was just called Strength, I thought that was their best album. I've seen them live, and they're good band. I can't remember the lead singer's name. It probably says on the bag and probably tells us his birthday. Mike Peters, that's it, yeah. So there you go, The Alarm. That's a pretty cool card. I might keep that one. And Excel. Now, this is not the X band that I wanted. I wanted In Excess, who was one of my favorite bands back in the day. Instead, we get Excel. These dudes just look like some dudes hanging out on the beach that somebody found and took a picture of and decided that they would put them on music cards. I'd never heard of these guys before. They were formed in 1985 from Chaotic Noise, the LA hardcore band. Yeah, can't say I know them either. So anyway, there you go. Let's open another UK pack, and maybe I will finally end this madness. Once again, I want to invite you, if any cards that went into this big stack here were bands that you were super excited about, just let me know, and I'll be happy to mail some cards to you. Unless I wolf-layered the cards, pretty much everything else is probably up for grabs. So help yourself with that. Our last pack, it's another Madonna. Told you she was the most well-represented artist in these two sets, and there she is there, puckering up for the camera. There she is. I'll get her really, really close. I know you guys are going to be very excited about this photo. Is she puckering up, or did she just eat something sour, actually? I'm not sure. The closer that got to the camera, the more I really was not too sure. So anyway, another Madonna card there for the kids. Lenny Kravitz, are you going to go my way? I don't know, Lenny. Lenny Kravitz also got into acting. He's actually a pretty good actor. I think he's actually quite capable as an actor. I'm always pleased when I see him and stuff. His daughter also acts. She was in the most recent Batman movie, as I recall, and she's also very good. Lenny Kravitz, great musician as well. Belle Biv DeVoe, there you go. I don't know which one is Belle or Biv or DeVoe, but there you have them. Michael Bivins, Ricardo Bell, and Ronald DeVoe. And they were with New Edition for a while, and Poison was their big hit. I remember that song. That girl is Poison, no question about it. Extreme, this is our second Extreme card. Why do they get 2 cards? That doesn't make any sense to me. That is wrong on so many levels. I don't really get that. There's Hammer, or MC Hammer, as we called him here in the UK. It was just called Hammer. But there he is in a really classy and understated outfit that you could wear to the grocery store very easily. Vanilla Ice, we've seen that one before. That's a duplicate. I'm sure that will get snapped up. Jason Donovan, who apparently was arrested and stripped of his clothing. That sounds like a really difficult situation for that dude to be in. Never heard of that dude, but there you go. Julian Lennon, son of John Lennon, of course. Julian Lennon had a pretty good solo career for a little while there in the 80s, and then I don't know if he decided he didn't want to make music anymore or what happened, but he seemed to get interested in other things. Julian Lennon. Deacon Blue, who I only remember one song by them, and I cannot remember the name of the song, but they did have a hit. I think they were just a lot more popular in the UK. I think they were a Scottish band, maybe. It doesn't tell us there. Their fan club addresses in London. I'm sure you can still write them. And here are the birthdays. No last names for these guys and girls. Lorraine is also a part of that band, apparently. And there's Patsy Kensit, who was very popular in the UK and thankfully not very popular here. I do not know what the appeal was of Patsy Kensit. Let's do one more pack. Let's do what you've sat with me this long for what is probably the worst episode of the Card Wolf Network ever done. We're going to do one more pack. How often do you get to see UK Pro Set music cards open? Probably never happened before, and if you're lucky, it'll never happen again. Roxette. There you go. Roxette right there. She's got the look, no question about that. And Roxette again. We get double Roxette out of here. Why does Roxette get 2 cards? I don't really think of them as being anything other than like a one-hit wonder. I mean, I don't know. They get 2 cards, though. Maybe they were a lot more popular in the UK than they were in the US. I'm not too sure about that. They did have several albums come out. There's Extreme again. We have gotten the Extreme cards. Anybody who wants Extreme cards, you have come to the right place today on the Card Wolf Network. Soul to Soul there. And, well, I'm really into De La Soul. I got to say, Soul to Soul, their charms were lost on me. I don't really even remember them that well. Back to Life, that's right. That was their big song. That was a really, really big song for them, actually. Seal, again, that is a terrible photo of Seal. You can barely even see the guy. You couldn't get a better photo than that of Seal. And why are there so many cards of this guy? It's like the 3rd card we've gotten of this guy. Seal did have a pretty good career. I can understand that. But you think you'd find a better card than that. And this is Martika, who I think had a hit with Toy Soldiers. I think was her big hit, if I'm remembering the right artist there. Does it say on the back? Does not say. It says that she was in the TV show Wise Guy as a jazz singer. Maybe this is a different Martika. There was also a Martika who was in the band with Tricky, who's a great trip-hop artist, if you don't know his work. He's a very talented guy. His first few albums are quite good, and Martika was a different woman who sang with him and was very talented. In Excess, we finally get an In Excess card. That's just an album cover, though. I'm kind of disappointed by that. But still, it is an In Excess card, and that was one of the bands I really wanted to get, so I can't complain too much about that. Fronted by, of course, the late Michael Hutchence, and just awesome, awesome band. Saw them back in the day and have all of their albums. A 3rd Roxette card out of this pack. What is going on? Is this the same pack we got the first 2 cards from? I think it is. I think we started this pack off, and now we've got our 3rd different rock set card. It looks like they're just playing in somebody's living room there. The guitar player looks confused about it, and I can't blame him for that. And there's Happy Mondays. Wow, that is quite an expression from the Happy Mondays lead singer there. You're twisting my melon, man. Rolling Stones get a card here with Mick Jagger. He's on the telephone right now, so just give the guy some space. He's calling Jerry Hall. He's a little busy. He needs to put on a T-shirt underneath of whatever that is he's wearing. And there's Kathy Dennis. We've gotten that card like 5 times. Kathy Dennis finishes things off, blissfully finishes things off on this internal, extremely long episode of not Dorking. I've even lost track of what day it is and what I'm even doing on the channel at this point. It's just the Card Wolf Network. We've been opening a bunch of Pro Set music cards, most of them from the UK, some of them from the US. If you saw any cards that you liked that I did not put in the Wolf Lair, they're probably going to just be yours for the asking, unless somebody else asks for them too, in which case I'll have to do some sort of ridiculous dice roll, but I can't imagine that would happen. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you sat through all of this, man, you get some sort of an award. You definitely win the home version of this game, no question about that. Crown yourself the winner today, or if you sat through it this long, maybe you're the loser. I don't know how you feel about this episode. Let me know in the comments. And once again, thank you so much for coming by the channel. This is what you're going to get on Anything Can Happen Day. Literally anything can happen, the stuff you least expect on Thursday. So enjoy or not. It's up to you. I will see you back here tomorrow for Dorking with Dice. That actually is going to happen tomorrow on Friday, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to be all vintage baseball. We'll get away from this music stuff. It's going to be all vintage baseball. Things will be back to normal. You can relax. I'll see you then. As always, happy collecting.